Hi guys, I just wanted to show you a few more of my discs and explain about how I used to look after them and categorise them and just generally take care of them back in the days of when I was mega into my collection back in the 90s. The discs, they normally used to come through with a like a cling film wrapper on. I used to take these off and put them into these plastic sleeves. And that just helped to protect them. They were much stronger than just having a plastic cling film over them, so it gave them a lot more protection. Plus also, quite a few of the discs, they would come through in these flimsy plastic sleeves, which, yeah, they protected them to some extent, but they were fiddly to get in and out. And also, one main problem with them, when you went to put them back in to the slipcase, they would all bunch up. I don't know if you see that. It was very hard to get them in without them exposing the disc to the hard cardboard of the slipcover. So what I used to do, this is one of my later ones where I probably just didn't get around to doing it in the end. But what I used to do was, from a company like this, Laser Enterprises, they were based in Essex. I used to buy a lot of my discs from there. But they also, I don't know if you can see this, they sold protective LaserDisc outer sleeves. You could buy them for 79p each or 25 for 15.99. Or gatefolds for 90p each or £20.99 for a pack of 25, and the inner sleeves, which I'm just about to show you, were 20p each. So the inner sleeves, so I would replace those flimsy plastic ones with a paper inner sleeve, which had a rice paper, it was rice paper and protective inner. And you can see that much easier to get in and out, and when you place them back into the cover, no messing about with them creasing up. I've looked on eBay, sorry, not on eBay, I've looked on Amazon, and I have found that you can still get, I don't know if it's the same sort of quality of these, but you can still get the outer sleeves in either the single or, I'll show you this, in the gatefold as well. And they also sell the inner sleeves as well, although the ones I saw, they were paper one side and then this sort of plastic on the other side. So I'm not sure how much better whether they're as good as these or not. Yeah, with the gatefolds, I don't know if you can see that, they were open on both sides. So with some of the record gatefolds you could buy in the old days, they would be sealed on one edge, whereas these, they're open on both edges, so you can get the discs in and out no problem. It's the Mission Impossible. With Mission Impossible, they actually came with an actual proper the sleeve. Don't think you have to buy those ones for that. But if you've got a nice, or you're getting a nice LaserDisc collection, I would definitely say to get the protective sleeves, inner and outer ones. They are well worth the money. Yeah, so this is just a small selection of my 800 odd LaserDiscs that I collected through the 90s into the early 2000s. So that's Mission Impossible, Tom Selleck, Mr. Baseball. I've got a feeling that was a little bit rubbishy, but I can't remember. Mrs. Doubtfire, a classic. That was also in THX. So good quality picture and sound. I think that was mainly the picture on that was THX. And then we've got Point Break. This was a gatefold. Nice lot of artwork in the middle there, telling you more about the film. And again more on the back, all the chapters. So that was over 3 sides. Mrs. Doubtfire, that was over 3 sides as well, but they didn't put it in a gatefold, they just put 2 discs in together. So not all films come in gatefolds, some come as a single folder, others as I say a gatefold. Mortal Kombat there. I think that was one of my first with the DTS sound, which was a superior sound quality to the Dolby AC3. On 2 sides. Once Upon a Time in America, that is one of my all-time favourite gangster films. Now that's just on 2 discs, and this one was recorded in mono sound because I think that came out in the film came out in 1973, which was before you had the stereo, or way before you had surround sound. I would highly recommend that film if you're into films like Casino, Godfather. That is, I would like to think it's on par with The Godfather, but I can't say because I've never actually seen The Godfather. None of the films. That's one of my things I have to do sometime soon. And then Outbreak, another great film, Dustin Hoffman. Again, that's on 2 discs in just 1 slip. And that was recorded in Dolby AC3 digital surround. Also, another thing I used to do, I had a lot of time on my hands when I was single. I used to write all my films down on cards and have them in alphabetical order. So what I would do, this is the first one, The Abyss. I would have the title, so The Abyss Special Edition, what genre of film it is, science fiction, whether it was widescreen, full screen, the sound system, Dolby Surround there, how many sides and whether they were pressed in CLV or the CAV format, whether it's NTSC or PAL. I would say 99.9% of these are NTSC because I just preferred them because a lot of the films when they came out on PAL over here, although the picture quality is slightly better, because of the film companies, they used to cut some of the film, some of the films about, so you would lose a little bit of the film because they thought it was either too gory or whatever. The time of the film, how long the film was, classification PG-13, and when the film came out in 1989. I've actually got ones here for Mission Impossible. That was AC through digital, THX. Then what's the base for? Where's Mortal Kombat? Yeah, Mortal Kombat. It says DTS sound. So I don't think all my 800 films are there. There's probably about 200 or 300 films worth there. But I found that easier to just flick through casts and think, oh, what film should I watch tonight? And then back in the day, this is how we bought the films. So I used to use a couple of companies. Laser Enterprises, who were based in Essex, and then LaserDisc House, which was based in Faversham in Kent. I started to use these more because they were closer to home, and they used to have big sales on once or twice a year, and then you could actually go along and then you'd be able to buy discs at much reduced prices, at half price in some cases. It goes up to 60% off NTSC titles. And in these, it told you all the films which were coming out, the release dates, so you could choose what films you wanted to buy in the near future. There goes Air Force One, I've got that somewhere. That would have cost me $32.99. And then at the back of the book, I think they started putting, DVDs in, because this was 1998, so DVDs hadn't been out too long. And again, these are all the Region 1 American DVDs, because there was a bigger selection at that time coming in from America. I think in this one, 100 plus collectible LaserDisc classics. All prices include postage. And I've got little ticks and crosses by films I had at the time. I had Batman Forever, Batman Returns. I have since I have now got Batman and Batman and Robin. Con Air, Broken Arrow, and again all the release dates for the different films. But that's how we bought them back in the 90s. Only the odd few shops you could go into to get them. Yeah, and also one other thing that happened in 1998, I think this was, 97, there was a company called F.A.C.T which tried to stop all the imports of NTSC LaserDiscs and also Region 1 DVDs. And Laser Enterprises, they actually had the police round, and what was it? What did it say here? I was reading this earlier. Here goes. As you are no doubt aware, F.A.C.T, the Federation Against Copyright Theft, visited, is that the word? Our premises both at the warehouse and at the shop, together with a total of 17 policemen and 1 photographer on the 26th of September 1998. Were we selling drugs? No. Pornography? No. Pirating? No. Over the top? Yes. And proceeded to remove all our NTS stock of both LaserDisc and DVD, both new and old. Why? They state that they are acting on information received and on the interests of their members, the film companies. They further state that importers like ourselves do not have the license to sell American software within the UK, even though NTSC products have been openly sold in the UK for the past 10 years. Even today we have managed to find 32 stores, including major outlets in major towns within the UK, openly selling NTSC software. So, in 1998, we nearly came to a point where we couldn't get LaserDiscs coming in from America. But there was a little loophole. Where is it? Down here somewhere. It is, however, quote again from F.A.C.T, perfectly legal for customers procuring product on a personal import basis for their own personal use. To this end, we are pleased to advise you of our new personal import service available to you via ourselves. So in other words, all we had to do, and all they had to do to continue selling the stock to us, all we had to do was send them a form saying, please could you import discs for me from America from now on. And with that little bit of paper, there wasn't a problem. It just seemed really pathetic. But we got round it. So, one other thing I'm going to show you, which I'm going to talk about in my next video, are these little things. Little silicone feet. A bit sticky. I used to put these on the bottom so that I could then still move my player about. But these would go on each corner of the LaserDisc player, because I don't know if you're aware how much vibration you get in a LaserDisc player. These help reduce it by a hell of a lot. And also, if you don't have these, you might find your picture, you'll get very faint wavy lines coming down diagonally. Whereas these, you pop those on at each corner and it almost cuts it out immediately. But I will hopefully demonstrate that with my player and the disc in my next video. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.